Hi there. In this QuickBooks Online video, we'll look at accounts receivable. So creating, editing customers, plus all of the transactions. So I'm going to quickly fire up my test drive. Again, it's QBO. If I just type in QBO, it pops up because I go there a lot. QBO.intuit.com, reader test drive. I'll choose I'm not a robot. Continue. And the first thing I'll do is create a new customer. So sales, customers is one way of getting there. New customer. And in my notes, I have a bunch of contact information. I'm just going to quickly add Sally Smith. So again, you can collect all of this information about your customers. All that's required is their name. We'll look at opening balances in level 2, and I'll choose save. We can also edit customers, so I'm just going to quickly go to customers here. Shows us all of our customers as well as their balances, and there's a method that we can quickly create transactions, create invoices, receive payments, and we're going to go ahead and modify Kate Whelan's email address. So we choose her and then choose edit. And her email is now katewhelan@gmail. And I'll save. So pretty straightforward. I'm going to quickly create a transaction called a receipt. What a receipt is a sale, COD sale for accounts receivable to a customer. So basically, accounts receivable is not affected, just the bank account and revenue. So you can think of it as the accounts receivable counterpart of the accounts payable check. So if I choose sales, all sales, when I choose sales, all sales, I get a list of all transactions. So we have invoices, payments, refunds, every transaction we can do with accounts receivable. And I'm going to choose sales receipt. And this is for a new customer. So if you want to create a customer on the fly at the time of the transaction, it works the same as it does with AP. Just click on the drop down, add new. And this guy's name is Joe Novak. And choose save. And he's paying with a check. It's going into checking. The reference number is 104. And he's paying for 4 hours of trimming and 2 hours of pest control. The rate's already in there for that service, and pest control. And 2 hours of that. No tax for services in California, so I'll choose save and close. The next transaction we'll look at is an estimate. So I'm going to click on new transaction, estimate. There's a few ways to get there, of course. And this is for Dylan. And that was yesterday. We'll look at tags in level 2, and we're giving him an estimate for 16 hours of design. The rate's already in there. It's a service, so no tax. And save and close. Now we can quickly create an invoice from an estimate from the All Sales screen by just clicking on Create Invoice. And that converts the estimate to an invoice. Or we can create an invoice for Dylan, and all of the outstanding invoices will pop up on the right there. So I'm going to add that. So you can pick your favorite method. And that's now today. So we've done the work. So we gave him the estimate. He accepted. We did the work. And now we're invoicing him for it. And I'm going to choose Save and Close. In real life, you would save and send. The next transaction is also an invoice, but I'll make this a recurring invoice. By the way, an invoice is a sale on account, so accounts receivable is affected. So I'll choose New Transaction, Invoice. So in this situation, we send a gardener over every week to do 4 hours worth of gardening for Cool Cars. The date's not important, and I'll choose gardening, and we charge them $30, so there's no set rate for that service in our list. Again, 4 hours. Again, this is a service, so there's no tax. So I'll choose Make Recurring, and that gives us our template options here. So I'm going to say daily, or sorry, weekly on Wednesday. And I'll go ahead and save template. That saves the template, closes the invoice. The invoice isn't actually posted. Notice it's not here in the list of invoices or all sales. If we go to invoices, we can see a shorter list. So in order to use that template, we go to our gear icon, recurring transactions, and Cool Cars. We can just simply use that. Whoops. I meant to twirl, not click on edit. There we go. And use. And now I'm going to put in today's date. Or if it was Wednesday that happens, we can enter Wednesday's date. I'm just going to add today's and save and close. And then we record the invoice. In this next example, I'll find and change or find and delete an invoice. So my favorite method, again, is my magnifying glass. Favorite method to find transactions, that is. Advanced search. We're looking for an invoice. And we're looking for the invoice for Freeman Sporting Goods. There it is there. So it turns out that we only sold them 4 bags of soil, not 5. And save and close. So to change an invoice, you simply find the invoice, change it, save it. I'm also going to delete Mark Cho's invoice. So there's a couple of options there. So I'm going to click on that. We have down at the More option here, that's where we delete. We have delete and void. Depending on which one you choose, it will change how this invoice is displayed. If it's void, we'll see the voided invoice in our list. If it's deleted, we won't. We'll still see it in the audit trail though. I'm going to choose delete. So it turns out we did not sell or perform that work, so we can just simply delete it. If I go back to my invoices now, you'll see that there's no invoice for Mark Cho. A very common report that's used for AR is the AR aging reports. So if I choose reports here and go down to my Who Owes You section, we have accounts receivable aging detail. That'll show you all of the transactions that make up the balances that you're owed. The summary just shows the balances. And so basically you can see anybody in this range we probably want to send a statement to, which we'll look at in level 2. Or if somebody owes us quite a bit of money, we want to watch that and make sure we collect fairly quickly. Notice that you can also drill down on these amounts. So if I click on the Red Rock Diner here, it'll give me a list of all of Red Rock Diner's transactions. And if I want to click on that one more time there, it'll actually drill down to the transaction that created the balance. So it's another way of finding a transaction. I can now, if I need to edit it, I can edit and save and close. And I use that method to mark your work for your midterm and your final. So to receive payments for outstanding invoices, if we go to Sales, Invoices, it'll show us a list of all of the invoices. Again, those are the transactions that affect accounts receivable. So it'll be a short list of transactions as opposed to all sales. So we're going to receive a payment for Cookies by Kathy, so I'm just going to choose Receive Payment. And it's check. Going into checking. And it's 54321 is the check number. And I'll save and close. Save and close. And we're also receiving a payment from Weiskopf. Now they're paying us $200. So we can override the full amount. The full amount pops in by default, but we can always override that. And again, that's check, checking, and Weiskopf is 367 is their check number. And I'm going to save and close. The next transaction we're going to look at is a credit. So Polson Medical has an invoice with us, and it included a bunch of rocks. They didn't like some of the rocks. They brought them back to us, so we are crediting the amount that's owed to us by the amount of those 2 rocks. So I'm going to go to sales, all sales, new transaction, and credit memo. And this is Paulson. And that's yesterday. And they're returning 2 rocks. Where are the rocks? There they are. 2 rocks at $22.50, which was the amount on the original invoice. And I'll save and close. Save and close. So it turns out that Weiskopf only paid us $175, not $200. We recorded $200 in error. So I'm going to find that payment and adjust it. So again, my favorite method. And this time, not bill payments, that's on the AP side, but plain old payment. There's the Weiskopf consulting payment. I can choose that and Again, they only paid $175, not $200. We recorded the wrong amount. The check was for $175, and we'll choose Save and Close. Save and Close. And that's pretty much all I wanted to show you for accounts receivable. We'll see a few more options in the level 2 course, but we created a customer, edited a customer, created a receipt, an estimate, invoice from the estimate, recurring invoices, as well as receiving payments and giving credits to our customers. Thanks so much for watching.